Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys an Ogdoadic combo that I recently came up with post Banlist. Now this is a list that I recently took to locals this past weekend and I did end up getting first place. So if you guys have any questions about the list or any questions about the combos, just let me know down in the description and I'll be sure to answer them. Now for this combo, you're going to want to open any 2 of your 1-card starters. So in total, you have 16 1-card starters. And opening 2 of these in a 40-card deck, you have about an 88% chance. So realistically, you should always open access to this combo. One thing to note is that Snake Rain by itself is also full combo. So you do have access to a 1-card combo. But even if you don't open 2 of these, you do have a good amount of superior extenders that are also combo pieces in a way. So opening, for example, Nunu plus the Ragnarika, that's also full combo. Or any one of these with 2 of these is also full combo. So again, you should always open access to this combo. This deck is very consistent. But for today, I'm just going to be showing you guys what Nayu and Nunu do together. This is kind of just the bare bones version of the combo. The 2 OGs. But yeah, this combo is very consistent. You're always opening this combo no matter what for the most part. Alright, so to start off, you're going to be sending your Nunu to grave, to foolish your copy of the Zoha. And then keep in mind, in this combo, you also have 3 extra cards in hand. Alright, so you're going to foolish, and then you're going to discard 1 card to add the Zoha to hand. Now, normally what you would do is you want to special summon the Nunu and then normal summon Zoha, so you can play around Abyssal. But in this case, I kind of want to bait Abyssal early, so you normal summon the Zoha, and then you go effective Nunu. And then if they Abyssal you here, you can still end on the lock. But yeah, for the most part, I think baiting the Abyssal early is the way to go. So then you'll overlay these 2 into the King of the Feral Imps. Detach 1. And you will go ahead and add the Ragnarika from deck to hand. Then you'll go Nayu to foolish your copy of Curse. And then you will use the Curse effect, tributing the King as cost to summon himself out from grave. And then you'll go effective Curse, targeting the Nayu to bring it back. Then you go Nayu effect, we'll add the Daybreak from deck to hand. Then you go Ragnarika, special summon by banishing King. And then you overlay these 2 to another copy of Feral. And this time you will add the Therion from deck to hand. And then from here, you will use Daybreak, tributing the Curse, to go ahead and summon 4 tokens. And then from here, you're going to use one of the tokens to go into Link Spider. Then use another one of the tokens plus the Link Spider to go into the Haggard Lizard Voice. Now you don't need to do this. I just like doing it because it gets you a free draw. So you'll get to banish the Armored Lizard, target itself, and you'll get to draw a card because you banished the Reptile. So you're back at 4 cards in hand. Then from here, you're going to use the Lizard Voice plus another one of the tokens to go into your Cosmic. Then you'll get to add the Trap from deck to hand. And then from here, you use the Cosmic plus the token to go into Sprend. Now Sprend here is going to foolish a Plex Brother Zombie. Then you're going to go Therion to equip your copy of Zoha. You want to make sure that it's Zoha. Then you'll use the Plague Spreader, returning a card from hand to top of the deck to special summon itself out. And then from here, you'll use this plus this to special summon your copy of the Arms of Genix, return 0. So now you are nib proof. And then you'll go Zoha effect in grave because it was sent from field to grave, so that's why you want to make sure that you use the Therion on Zoha. and you'll get to add the Nephalbis, and then you send the Nephalbis from hand to grave. And then from here, you will banish your copy of Daybreak, shuffling back the King of the Feral Imps to your extra deck to go ahead and Foolish the copy of Night Sword Serpent. Then you'll go Chainlink 2 Night Sword, Chainlink 1 Nephalbis. You will get to summon both of them out. Then you'll go Nephalbis Effect, Reborn Cosmic, go these two into your Shock Trooper. So this is your end board. So right here you have 4 negates with this because you have a dark, an earth, a water, and a light. So this is basically an Appaloosa, which is kind of crazy, honestly. In a way, it's better than an Appaloosa because you get kind of guaranteed 4 negates. And then you also have a bounce with sprint because you still have this king on board. And then you have a Raigeki with a trap attributing this. And then after you use the Raigeki, your opponent will no longer be able to activate monster effects on the field because of the cosmic. And on top of that, you also have insane follow-up in the grave in the form of these 4 cards. These 4 cards in the grave will just keep coming back and back, and you can keep them in grave because you just like recycle the king over and over again. And this is why this deck has such a good grind game. Like, you have incredible follow-up in the grave, and even Nayu in the grave gives you, in a way, more follow-up. Now, let's say your opponent does have Nib. So we're going to go back to where they're first able to nib us. So we're right here with the curse. We have this right here. We have these 2 in hand. These 2 in grave. Yep. Okay. And then we have one of these in grave. So let's say we're back to right here, right? If your opponent nibs us before you get access to the Therion, in order to play through the nib, you have to open at least 1 other monster. It doesn't matter what the monster is, as long as you open 1 other monster and they nib you before you get access to the Therion, you're still able to end on the lock. But let's say they nib you after you get access to the Therion, because most people, after they read this, they kind of wait to Nibiru you because they see this and they're kind of scared. So they kind of want you to use it first. So let's say we have this. We go Daybreak, attributing this. And then you should have 1 king banished as well. To summon your foe. So you will summon your 4 tokens here. And then let's say they nib. So now you just have a nib token. So you go Therion, equipping the Zoha once again. You go this and the token into your copy of the Reptilian Echidnia. You go Chainlink 2 Echidnia, targeting the nib to make its attack 0. Chainlink 1 Zoha. Will add and send to grave the Nephalbis. And then from here, you'll get to use the second effect of the Echidnia. Because your opponent controls a monster with 0 attack, you'll get to add 1 reptile from deck to hand. So you'll add the Kotal. You go Kotal effect to special. You go these 2 into your copy Cosmic. Cosmic will then add you the trap. Then you will banish your Daybreak, returning this to the extra deck to Foolish your Night Sword. Then you'll go Night Sword, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 1 Nephalbis. We'll go ahead and summon out anything, doesn't matter what you summon. And then you will link those 2 off into your copy of the Shock. So even through the nib, you still have access to the lock, and their nib is also a 0 attack, so they aren't able to like attempt to attack over, so you get full value from the Raigeki. And you still have the same amount of follow-up in grave. Now let's say your opponent decides to nib you before you get access to the Therion. So we have this, these 2 on field, this in hand, this in hand. Alright, so we're right here. This is the first spot for your opponent to nib you. So it doesn't matter if they nib you here, here, or here. You still end on the same, well, you still have to go down the same line in order to play through the nib. And then you also have one king banished. So we don't get access to the Therion, and then they decide to drop nib here. You have to chain the Daybreak tributing this because you want the Daybreak engrave, and then everything gets sent, and you have the token. Now remember earlier whenever I said you do need any one monster for this line. So for this line, if they nib you before you get access to the Therion, you need access to any one monster. It doesn't matter what the monster is. So from here, you go Daybreak, returning back the king, and you will Foolish the Night Sword. Night Sword effect will special. Then you'll go these two into the Echidnia. Echidnia make the attack 0, and then second effect of the Echidnia will add the Therion. Go Therion, equipping the Zoha. Go these two into the Alien Shock Trooper. Then you go Zoha effect to Foolish the Nephlibis. And then this is where it comes up that you need any one monster, because you're going to use the effect of this, discarding a monster to place 3 counters on himself. The counters do not matter, they do not do anything. But the only reason why you do that is because you'll then get to trigger the Nephlibis effect. Because a monster was sent from hand or deck to the graveyard, you get to summon himself out, use the effect, reborn the Echidnia, then use these two to go into your Cosmic Slicer, and then you still have the full lock. So yeah, it's the same situation. You still have the same amount of follow-up engrave, and your opponent's name is at 0 attack. So yeah, that's basically it for this combo. I do think this is kind of like the best way to play the deck right now, because this is the most consistent version of the deck and the most versatile version in terms of like playing through hand traps and playing into a board. Like this deck, it just, I honestly love this deck. I think it has a lot of potential to it, but I think whenever this version gets compared to like the Ragnaraka or like the evil Sinful Spoils version, I think this version is just way better. Again, it's super consistent, it's super versatile. But yeah, if you guys would like a combo video, I mean not a combo video, or like a deck profile or a test hand video, I'll be more than happy to do that. And like I'll definitely go more in depth in those videos, because I know my list is definitely a lot different when compared to like probably the other lists that you guys have seen on YouTube. So I'll be more than happy to make a video explaining all of my ratios, explaining the cards that I play. But yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure you guys leave a like and comment, and yeah, that's it.